Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is going to be Hairy Muppet, and we're going to be casting Game 3 of this quarter-final of the HomeStory Cup number 7. Now, up the top right side, we do have our blue Zerg player, viOLet, and up the top left side, we do have our red Zerg player, TLO. These guys have been going absolutely nuts against each other. I believe TLO won the first game with some very nice roach pushing action, and viOLet, man, he won the second game with some very nice muta pushing action, man. He just went nuts on the mutalisks, managed to get a slight economic lead, I think, and yeah, just had a massive amount of mutas that TLO just could not do anything against. But we are going to see what happens in this game number 3, and this is going to be a very big map. I've seen this map once before, I think, and yes, it was a very big map then. It's a very big map now, and all we can say is that TLO is going to find out where viOLet is before viOLet finds out where TLO is. But of course, when he says the Overlord coming along, he's going to see, oh, that's where TLO is. So yeah, that's the thing about Overlords, man. It's actually, if TLO had sent out his Overlord south instead of east, then viOLet would not have found out where TLO is for another couple of minutes, well, I don't know, a bit later, like another 4 minutes afterwards. But whatever, he is going to see the hatchery coming down from viOLet nice and early. This is a 2-minute hatchery. So yeah, hatchery was, what's the exact timing? It's 14 hatch. See, I mean, 2 minutes is stupidly early for Protoss and Terran. Not really for Zerg though, but yes, very early, and he's definitely going to want to get a spawning pool coming down to go along with that hatchery. But TLO, man, going for some extremely early ling pressure. Once again, that must have been like a 12 pull or something, or a 10 pull. So yes, going for some very awesome, I'm not going to say bronze level tactics, because bronze level is before you get your Overlord. I don't think he did it that early, but yes, going to be very scary. And this Overlord sees the entire thing, and his spawning pool is only half done, and he should have learned, because I mean, TLO did exactly the same thing last time. So why would you go for the same tactic when you know that TLO loves to get the really early lings out doing all sorts of damage, man? So this hatchery almost certainly going to be cancelled once again. Happened in game number 2, it's going to happen in game number 3. But yeah, oh man, I'd actually, no, he's let it go down, and TLO, man, needs to pull these lings back. He needs to wipe this out. If he wipes this out, that is 300 minerals just completely down the drain. And I do not know why viOLet did not cancel it, man, because it is going down no matter what. So he either cancels it and gets back 225 minerals, or he doesn't cancel it and he gets back diddly squat. And he had absolutely no chance of stopping that from being taken out. So yeah, I've got to say that's a definite mistake from viOLet. And TLO, meanwhile, he's got the pressure on. He's cost viOLet 300 minerals right there. Usually by this point, TLO would have started on his own expansion, but he hasn't, which leads me to believe that he wants to finish it right here. He's not expanding, so he's got to be thinking about finishing it right here. But without his own expansion, he's not really going to have that much of an economic lead to really work with. And of course, viOLet has the home court advantage, and all it's going to take is one spine crawler, which is coming down there, and TLO will have absolutely no hope of winning this game without an expansion, because yeah, the spine crawler, man, it doesn't matter how many ling reinforcements he gets, he's not going to be able to overwhelm the spine crawler. And I think he's going to keep on trying that. Maybe he can overwhelm it, but I mean, viOLet has 2 queens now. He's got a bunch of lings on his own, and yeah, TLO, man, he needs to get his own expansion down. You can see he's going to try and do that here. And yeah, so he's finally realizing he cannot just walk in and just completely overwhelm viOLet anymore. So he's going to expand. And meanwhile, he's just going to try and make sure that viOLet cannot get his expansion anytime soon. But viOLet has got a fairly large amount of lings, and he is going to push him away. viOLet desperately wants to get that expansion down. You can see him saving up for it right now. Meanwhile, he's got a crap load of lings, and we can expect a counter-attack against TLO in the next, right the hell now, it looks like. And TLO, he should have got his expansion a bit earlier, and now it's going to be half built by the time that viOLet gets in there. And he could easily lose this expansion if he does not have the forces to chase these lings away. But it looks like he is going to have enough lings. But yes. There we go. Violet's going to be getting his expansion up. He's already got a spine crawl up there to help defend it. So yes, he's going to be fine. But TLO, man, I've got to say again, he should have got his expansion a little bit earlier. But I mean, you know, whatever. He's still doing well. He's still got the stuff going on. He's going to push out with the lings, but he's not really going to be able to do much. He needs to start thinking about, or he's almost got his baneling nest down actually. So yeah, this could be very, very scary if he manages to get a couple of good baneling hits. It looks like he's going to be building a ton of banelings over here. Just moving one ling in to make sure the expansion is down. Violet going for his own baneling nest in turn. Guessing, here we go, there's a bunch of banelings coming up now. And I'm not sure if Violet saw those as his overlord was moving away, but this overlord is almost certainly going to see them. I cannot say. But yeah, this is going to be quite scary for Violet. He's pushing in now. He wants to take out the banelings, but he loses his defensive advantage when he moves out. And here we go, man. TLO, he'd love to get this group of lings out there. With all but two of the banelings going down to just stray lings. And Violet doing an excellent job at sniping those banelings with one or two lings of his own. And you can see there he almost got that one. It's really, really good idea to take out just individual banelings with an individual ling, because then the baneling explodes and only kills one ling. And here we go, he's going to cancel all of those banelings morphing in. He's just going to have to run. I don't think TLO has anything he can really do there. But meanwhile, he's going to try and push in for an economic advantage, but Violet doing a very good job at keeping his economy going while he's being harassed by TLO. And I think trying to warp in those banelings may have given Violet a little bit of a chance to get just some more drones. But TLO really catching up now though. He's really starting to push into the drone production, and an overlord going down for TLO, so that's never a good thing. But his overlords are going to take, they still need to fully go down. It's not going to be good for TLO. He's a bit of a bind at the moment, but he's going to save a ton of minerals, and yes, he's going to be going worker nuts or ling nuts or some sort of nuts as soon as those overlords come down. There we go, ton of banelings, man. 9 banelings coming down. Meanwhile, Violet's just going to run straight past. What sort of defenses did TLO have? Not a whole lot, so he could be in a lot of trouble right here. The banelings are going to run in. It takes out half the lings, man. That baneling was absolutely just completely crazy. Another baneling going to try and go through. I think this may have been Violet's baneling because it took out the queen. Yeah, so good job there. Or maybe TLO's banelings just absolutely hit the wrong spot. But these reinforcing lings going to come up, and with all these banelings that have been built, it's now Violet that's going to be in a lot of trouble. But he's still got a few banelings of his own. Going to blow up, and the banelings pretty much all going down. They take out that spine crawler, not quite taking both the queens down. One of them got down though, but roach reinforcements coming out for Violet now, and the banelings, their usefulness has gone down quite a lot. There are going to be a few drones going down to baneling hits, but for the most part not really doing that much. And yeah, the appearance of roaches on the field is going to pretty much halt this entire attack from TLO. He's got the bit more roach reinforcements. TLO still thinks he can do some damage here, and he is taking down some drones with those lings. But he is losing so many lings trying to do it, it's not even funny. And I would not keep pushing in with these. I mean, yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, the lings are pretty much useless at the moment. They're doing some very good harass, and they do take out a couple of workers here and there, but there's no way in hell that he's going to be able to do anything here. He may try and snipe off this hatchery. Of course, as soon as the roaches come out, he just runs straight in. He's going to be attacking all those workers. So yeah, very, very nice here. The workers turning on the lings though, and those lings are going to go down fairly fast. Maybe only taking out a couple of drones there. Meanwhile though, if we have a look, what was I saying? Lings were useless, man. They're not useless at all. He took out a crap load of workers there. I think he may have just been building a crap load of workers while he was doing that attack as well. So yes, definitely TLO has got the advantage there. And I do not believe that, Violet does not have the roach speed. So these guys walking around like old grandpas, man. He thought about doing a counter, but without roach speed, man, it just would have taken way too long for the roaches to get there. And they did not have a chance. He actually was building spines, but he cancelled one of them when he realised the attack wasn't coming. So just thinking about the attack coming, but didn't quite make it there. So yes. Meanwhile, these lings going to come around, just go for a bit of a scout, a bit of harass, a bit of seeing what's going on. maybe is expecting the counter to be in, so he's trying to run past while the counter's going. But the counter is only lings at this point. They're going to try and run in, make it past the front gate, and they're going to hit a couple of drones. They're actually deciding to go for the queen, but some roaches of TLO's own coming out, and they're just going to be able to save the queen from certain death. And yes, very, very much a back and forward game at the moment. viOLet trying to catch back up on the workers. He's done a very good job of getting his worker numbers out. But meanwhile, TLO does have the army advantage since viOLet was working on workers. And yes, we'll see if he can use his army advantage to really do anything. It's still a few seconds left on the movement speed. Actually, it's about 30 Starcraft seconds, so it's going to be quite a bit. Meanwhile, viOLet starting his own roach speed. But yeah, right now, TLO has the army advantage. If he can move in and do something with it, then yeah, it's going to be very scary. And what makes it worse is that viOLet is actually going for a third base. TLO has not gone, or he's just going for his third base now, but he's got the army before he did that. Roach speed has just come up now. 1 weapons and armor, but I don't think he's going to wait for that. He's going to push in, try and take out this third base, and I think he might be able to do it. He's definitely got the forces he needs to knock this base down, and I do not think that viOLet has enough to counter this quite yet. He actually wants to take out the army there. He wants to go in, but some reinforcements from viOLet starting to shape it up a little bit more equal, but reinforcements from TLO is going to shape it the other way. TLO in a very good position, and this base has got to be cancelled at this point. He cannot let this base just continue to be destroyed. He's got to cancel it. There we go. Where's the cancel? There we go. Just as those hits were about to go down, he cancels it. So excellent timing there by viOLet, but of course it's you got to have good timing to get up to this level in the game. And meanwhile, viOLet countering, getting a ton of roaches, but TLO has been going nuts on workers while we've been watching that entire battle, man. He is up to 59. And yeah, 59 workers, sorry. And he keeps getting his overlord sniped though by all the queens, man. They get in too close and then he's supply blocked again. So not good for Mr. TLO. But he has got his third base up, and viOLet still trying to get his third base up. He got taken out by roaches. So yeah, denying the expansions, man. That has been what TLO has been doing all game. viOLet did it to him in the very first game, and TLO just went around, and he's been doing it ever since. Back to viOLet. And what have we got going on? Just a massive, massive amount of roaches. So I think TLO wants to finish this off in the next couple of minutes. Meanwhile, viOLet going for the infestation pit, and he would love to go in there and get some more swarm hosts out again. I think it's going to be swarm hosts, but the question is, will TLO push in the next minute or so? If he pushes in with all these roaches come out, I think he has a fairly good chance of just completely wiping the floor with viOLet. He does have the 1 armor advantage over these roaches. These roaches have 1 weapons and 0 armor, and TLO has 1-1. So yeah, he's going to be very, very scary. And if we have a look at the unit count, he has got 41 roaches over 28 for viOLet, and that is going to be enough to wipe out all of these forces. But the question is, well, viOLet's not going for a swarm host yet. He's basically focusing on roaches. He realizes, alright, this is the danger period. I need to get the army up to defend against this roach push. As swarm hosts, I'm not going to have time for them. I've just got to go for the army, for the basic units, and he's going to build up a little bit more of a stiff defense here to try and deal with TLO's offensive. He's still 20 roaches down, and here we go, man. This 1 armor advantage and the numbers advantage, it might be able to send TLO in for a win there. He's definitely killing the roaches faster than viOLet is killing his. The spine collar is evening up a little bit. This queen is not doing anything, man. That is a huge mistake. Then TLO's going in. He's doing what he needs to do. He's not got as much advantage as he used to have. He's 34 versus 8 though, so yes, but I think half of the roaches in that count are actually reinforcements that are not even here yet. But still, TLO is in the lead, and 2-2 weapons and armor is just about to finish. And when they finish, I think viOLet is just going to have to GG, man, because he cannot fight against roaches with 2-2. He can barely fight against roaches with 1-1. And there we go, he GG's before the 2-2 even comes out. So he knew he had lost the game at that point, and my god, TLO getting back in there, winning another game, and setting himself up to be 2-1 in this best of 5 series. So definitely swinging the momentum back into his favour, showing that he knows what to do with roaches. He knows which end of the roaches go towards the enemy and which end of the roaches do not go towards the enemy. And he has won 2 games now, so we're going to go on to a 4th game. If TLO wins the 4th game, he is going to be heading on to the semi-finals against Tasia. And if viOLet wins the 4th game, then we are going to be going on to an ace match, and that will be extremely interesting. We haven't seen an ace match yet in this quarterfinal series, but no doubt I would be very excited to see one, and so would you guys, I am sure. So there we go. Game number 4. What is going to happen? TLO man's doing a very good job, but we cannot forget that viOLet just completely wiped him out with the mutas in game 2, man, and he just did so well with the mutas. He got out so many, and TLO just had nothing. So what is going to happen in game 4? I'm not going to wait any longer. I'm going to go ahead and cast it, and then we will know. So there we go. Thank you very much for watching. This has been Hairy Muppet.